Fellas, you think we could listen to the radio or something?
And welcome to a very special championship edition of the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez. Jeff Gorham is with the UC Riverside men's basketball team in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He is at the game as the Wolverines are taking on the Buckeyes at the Big House. We're going to have Jeff with a live update in just a second, but real quick, let's thank our sponsors before we get into UCR basketball as well as the high school football semifinals and into the championship games. It's all brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Bill Navigado and his team will spoil you and your car. We appreciate them. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, and they still dominate all your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jackets. Go to kensportinggoods.com. Boost Performance Training. They train you up in any sport. Lacrosse, golf, baseball. Of course they do football with the best. Ray Bass. BoostTrainingSystems.com. And Catalano Motors right there off Temescal Canyon Road in Corona. They will hook you up with that sweet ride you've been looking for and give you the best deal possible. They will make it easy for you. That's why we love Catalano Motors. So proud to have them on board with the Inland Sports Show. I know his phone is dying. We got to go right to him. It's Geoff Gorham, live from the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm the 25th row in the end zone here on the Ohio State side, believe it or not. But 14-14. Marcus Ball caught a nice touchdown, and it is crazy here, 113,000 people.
So Marcus Ball, the pride of JW North on 3rd and Chicago, just caught a touchdown pass for the Buckeyes?
Got a touchdown pass late in the second quarter, and it is bedlam here. It's a little chilly. My bald head is freezing.
Thought you were taking a beanie.
Yes, and you know the thing is I tried to send my selfies, but my phone battery died within about an hour, I think because there's so many people in here, and they're all using the same network. I'm surprised I got through.
Well, what a big weekend for the University of Michigan. First, you got the Buckeyes in football, and then they get the Highlanders coming up on Sunday in basketball. You will have the call live on GoHighlanders.com tomorrow from Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor. You guys had a morning shoot-around. How about those facilities at the University of Michigan?
The best basketball practice facility I've ever seen. I will send more pictures when I get back to the hotel tonight of the weight room. It was incredible. I mean, the house that Steve Fisher built, as I like to say, but there was no pictures of my friend Steve Fisher in the building.
Oh, he won a national title in '89.
Yeah, and I was really bummed that there was no pictures of Coach Fisher in the building.
So I am so jealous, Jeff, and you know that you're at the Big House watching Michigan right now take on the Ohio State. You could arguably say the biggest rivalry in all of college football. What's that atmosphere like? Is it just nuts?
This is a game I've ever seen. I'm not a big fan of either team, but as far as football goes, it's incredible. I think Gazal and I should be making the call next year in Ohio State.
So it's Ohio State, Michigan football today, then UCR against Michigan tomorrow afternoon. Jeff will have the call live. And Jeff, what do the Highlanders have to do to maybe knock off the Wolverines and pick up another signature victory? They opened the year with a win at Cal. Can they do it again and pick off a really good Michigan team?
Well, you know, they went into Pac-12 and took care of Cal on their home court. They had a transfer from Kentucky at Cal. Well, the same goes here in Michigan. A transfer from Kentucky plays for Michigan. I think his name is Charles Matthews, their leading scorer. But I'm predicting the Highlanders go in and beat them in the Big Ten territory out here in Michigan tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock West Coast time.
That's awesome. They're gonna beat the Wolverines. You heard it here first, right, Jeff?
Yes, I can barely hear you, but all I know is I'm looking for guys like Cullen. I don't see him. I don't see Pep Fernandez. I do see Urban Meyer, and I saw Jim Harbaugh, and they were like right next to me. It's pretty cool. Right in front of me right now, I have Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez?
He's right in front of me.
What's he doing there?
They're doing the Fox broadcast.
Oh, Mr. Butt Fumble.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah. But I will say it's cold. My bald head is freezing. But I miss you guys in SoCal, and I will be back tomorrow night at about 1:30 in the morning, and I'll call you as soon as I get in, Pep.
No, how about wait till Monday morning? How about that?
Okay, no, I'm going to call you in the middle of the night and wake you up.
I know you will.
Hey, 3 minutes left before halftime is over, but this place is cool. I will be sending pictures the moment I get back to my hotel.
Well, as soon as you send us more pictures and or video from the big house, we'll make sure we get that on the Inland Sports social media sites on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well.
Hey, I want to say this. Aquinas, is the Pope going to come visit him?
I know. You know what? Can you please tweet the Pope one more time? Send it straight to the Vatican and say, listen, Aquinas is in the finals. They got a long road trip up to Ridgecrest. What do we got to do to get the Pope in the house?
I didn't hear a word you said, Pep. I'm sorry because the players are on the field. But I will say this. I miss you, Greg. I miss you, Pep. And I miss everyone out in Southern California because it's freezing here.
Jeff, we miss you too. Tweet the Pope. That's all I got to say. Tweet the Pope.
Tweet the Pope, people, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right, thanks, Jeff. We appreciate it. Live from Ann Arbor, that's Geoff Gorham from the Inland Sports Show.
Right, listen at 1 o'clock.
All right, go Highlanders.com. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, buddy. See ya. Bye.
Oh, that's Geoff Gorham live from the Michigan-Ohio State football game right now. He gave us a live update, 14-14. We're getting close to halftime. And how about that? Marcus Ball out of J.W. North High School catching a big touchdown pass for the Buckeyes, and we got ourselves a ball game from the big house, 100,000 plus up there in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Real quick, before we get Jeff Steinberg checking in with us in just a couple minutes, talk about Rancho Verde's big win last night against Charter Oak to propel them to the Division III championship game. We're going to run down the scores real quick. So we got the Rancho Verde beating Charter Oak. They're going to play at St. Francis next Friday for the D3 championship. In Division 4, Cajon is moving on. Big win against Murrieta Mesa, 56-28. So what does that mean? The Cowboys will play at Downey next Saturday night for the Division 4 championship. The last time the Cowboys won a title was 1987, so 30 years ago was the last time they got the job done. Aquinas, they handled Cypress 47-12, so the Falcons will make the long road trip up to Ridgecrest to take on the Burros. That's a Friday night game next Friday night. The last time they won a title, 2005, their head coach, Jordan Brusig, was actually a star player on that team. Now he's the head coach trying to get them another CIF championship. And all those highlights you can check out on Sports Weekly Live on IEMG. We were all over the place, so check out highlights, interviews. We also preview the championship games, Sports Weekly Live on IEMG. Big Bear also moving on. They beat Santa Ana 45-17, so Big Bear will play at Santa Maria. That's a road trip. And then a couple of the other games where we did not have winners, but still great seasons overall for these schools as well. In Division 1, no Tanner McKee at quarterback, and Centennial just did not have enough against St. John Bosco, 62-34. Arturo Herrera, the backup QB, played a great game for the Huskies. There's just not enough. Bosco's got so much firepower. Centennial needed to be at full strength to have a shot to knock off the Braves there. In Division 2, Heritage lost on the road at Valencia, 52-34. Another great season for the Patriots as they go to the D2 semis. In Division 5, another Sun Belt League school, Paloma Valley. We talked about this. There are only 2 losses all season long. Were to Heritage and Cajon, and they lose at Paraclete 55-35. And in Division 10, it was Valley View losing at Dos Pueblos up in Santa Barbara 38-30. But right now, let's go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline. He's a dear friend of the show. Used to be my neighbor. It's the great Jeff Steinberg, who's moving on to the CIF Southern Section Division III championship game. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
Of course you are. You're going to the finals. Talk about that big win last night against Charter Oak. It was close for a while, and then the final score looks like you got a little bit of separation at the end.
Yeah. We had a couple breaks went our way, and unfortunately, when they lost their starting quarterback, and I think they even lost their second quarterback in the game, and that at the high school level especially, it's really hard to come back from something like that. But I was really pleased with how our guys banded together and played. We call what they did was selfless style of football last night.
Well, Coach, we knew you had talent, but this was a young team across the board for the Mustangs. I don't want to say you're surprised, but are you pleasantly happy, like surprised that you guys made it this far with a really young team?
Yeah, when the season starts, I don't know. My wife says I do it every year, but I'll go home usually in August after the first week of practice and tell her we're not going to win a game. and then it's kind of nice to see improvements happen. And you know, one of the great advantages of having young kids is that you are going to improve dramatically over the course of the season, even when a lot of teams are plateauing towards the end of the year. Because we're young, we're just continuing to grow and get better.
Now, we like to play the numbers game, and, of course, your common opponent with St. Francis, who you'll see in that championship game, is Citrus Hill. They beat Citrus Hill in the quarters by a score of 30-20. Knowing you, you probably sat down with a donut and started breaking down tape of that game, right?
Yeah, we've been collecting and studying some film on them, and we're gonna be doing our work today and tomorrow. But I guess if you're telling me that they beat Citrus Hill, we should just why waste the money on a bus trip and selling tickets? Let's just give it to them.
That's why they play the games, right? Well, it's Rancho Verde on the road at St. Francis. That's the La Cañada area. That will be the Division III championship. And, Coach, and you can confirm this for us. I think I just saw the schedule for the championship game. So your game's on Friday night. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So CIF just sent out the schedules this morning, and we play Friday at 7 p.m. at St. Francis High School.
Is that good to have like a normal work week in terms of having another Friday game as opposed to a Saturday? Does the Saturday kind of throw it off a little bit?
I don't know if it does. You get to this point, we made it through Thanksgiving week, which was very different, having the whole week off and different practice schedule, and, again, bringing the players in on a Friday when we didn't have school. So I think it wouldn't have really changed things much. If anything, it gives the two teams an extra day of rest, an extra day of preparation. But, we're also creatures of habit, and there's something to be said. We've been playing all our games on Friday night, so that's kind of a nice deal as well.
I'm curious, on your Thanksgiving morning practice going into this semifinal game, what was the message to the guys? Do you say, hey, you know what, no, second plates of, Thanksgiving dinner, take it easy on the turkey? Like, what's your approach so these guys don't, they're not gluttons for punishment when they're at the dinner table?
So the very first thing that I always think that it's, coaches go so overboard on everything, and they're trying to control every part of every kid's life. And I just need to control the controllables. And so for us, it's enjoy your day, be thankful, take your mind off football, hang with your family, have fun, help your parents clean up the table after, enjoy the food, be thankful for what you have. When you wake up the next morning, let's stay away from all the Thanksgiving food till after the game. And the kids did. Really impressed with the alertness when they came in and just being dialed in on Friday.
We got Jeff Steinberg, the head coach of the Rancho Verde High School, going on to the CIF Southern Section Division III championship game on the road at St. Francis. Coach, with the tape you've seen a little bit of St. Francis, what do they do well? Where are they going to be tough at?
They're a solid team, well disciplined. They play very good defense, giving a few different looks, and they mix things up between, pressuring you and playing good zone coverage as well. They'll show a little bit of odd and an even front, and their offense is so balanced. They've got a great run game, super efficient quarterback that keeps the chains moving. They got one great wide receiver, not to say the others, aren't good as well. But there's definitely one guy who stands out above everybody else, and they're just playing really good football. Really good football.
Real quick before we let you go, I got to ask you about your Burros. They're going to host a championship game up there in Ridgecrest. That's not an easy place to win, especially in the month of December.
Man, I'm telling you that if there's ever a home field advantage, and I can now speak for that on the other end of that, it's Burros. And this was a dream of mine all week, is that Todd Mather, who was on my staff at Burros, that they were going to get their win, and we take care of business, and both of us are going to enjoy that CIF luncheon on Monday. And so I couldn't be happier for that community and those kids, and they got a really special group of seniors this year that are really playing above themselves and playing for each other. So it's really just a cool thing.
So it'll be the Aquinas Falcons going on the road up to Ridgecrest, taking on the Burros in Division 9. Coach, we always appreciate the time. Enjoy your weekend. I'm sure it's going to be filled with breaking down the X's and O's on St. Francis, but best of luck next Friday, and we appreciate this.
Yep, you got it. Thank you. Thanks for all you guys do.
All right, that's Coach Steinberg from the Rancho Verde High School here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. All right, we'll have more high school football a little bit later in the show, but when we come back in our second segment, we are going to talk with the #1 Division II volleyball team in the country, Cal Baptist University, a perfect 28-0 on the season. They will be hosting the NCAA Division II West Regional beginning on Thursday this upcoming week. We got the head coach and some of the star players coming up right here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, #1, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Sir.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Cheapskate.
Hey, I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. 1, 2, 10.
That'll get you in the Christmas spirit, right? So it is December high school football. Big thanks to Geoff Gorham from checking in from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Talking a little Aquinas as well, and the head coach of the Rancho Verde Mustangs, Jeff Steinberg, as the Mustangs will play in the CIF Southern Section Division III Championship on the road at St. Francis coming up on Friday. You're listening to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, Ken Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona. Right now, we're going to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and we've got the #1 volleyball team in the nation. What a treat. The gift that just keeps on giving. It's the Lancers, a perfect 28. And, let me start with head coach Branden Higa over here on the end. And coach, 28-0. It's incredible to go undefeated like in conference play, but go 28-0 overall on the season. At what point in the year did you think, you know what, this team might go the whole way with a perfect record? I mean, was it like the last game?
Oh, there's a funny story associated with this, but I'm not going to tell it.
What?
No, I'm not going to tell it.
Lauren
it's
will.
Too soon. We can tell it after the season's over. No, I don't know, as a coach, you dream about scenarios like this. Like one morning I'm going to wake up and we're 28-0 and the regular season is done. But you don't actually realistically think you're going to do that. And, people have asked me all the time, and a couple of my players have asked me, I'm like, yeah, I think if we were 5-2 after the end of preseason, we'd be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And we'd be in a good spot. But, yeah, there's just so many different obstacles you have to navigate throughout the year. And we played a tough preseason schedule, and we came out of it unblemished. But 20 conference matches is tough, and we've got, Concordia, Azusa, Biola, a bunch of teams that if we don't play well on a given night, they could beat us. And so, honestly, we didn't put very much time at all as a staff, and I feel like as a team, into even talking about the grand overall record. It was just, okay, can we go 2-0 this week, and can we go 3-0 next week? And really, can we just go 1-0 today?
Yeah.
That was the big focus.
See, I've never played on an undefeated team. Is it like a no-hitter in baseball where like, no, let's not talk about it. Let's just go out there and take the court and see what happens? Did it feel like that or no?
I don't know. I've never thrown a no-hitter. So, yeah, all year, the girls have just been great about, we've just been really focused in the now. And the stuff that we don't talk about is, like, there's a lot of good stuff that we just don't talk about. Like, people are winning weekly awards, and we're winning all conference this.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll talk about it here. But.
And we just, I don't know. That's just not how this team is. They care more about the team and the contributions of everyone. And it's pretty cool as a coach to be part of something like that.
Well, we also have Lauren Hackett, Yagoda Yinjaychuk, and Sydney Cry here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 a.m. Trying to get those names right. I actually called 2 of your matches. I don't know if you even know that. So I worked on the pronunciation. But let me start with Lauren here. So #1 team in the country. When you look at the season, I know the postseason's still in front of you now, and now it gets for real. But when you look at 28-0, #1 in the country, I mean, you can't draw it up any better than that, right?
I mean, yeah, I prefer not to think about it now, because I think it can get in your head a little bit with just the excitement and a lot of people knowing who we are now. It's so fun to like have that, but I think for now to think about it less is a better, I don't know, option.
Just worry about the match
just
in
to
front
go,
of you, right?
yeah,
the X's
to go
and O's.
forward, yeah.
So Yagoda, let me ask you, what are practices like when you're the #1 team in the country? Do you go? I mean, I figure you girls are just like laughing, having fun, like enjoying each other, enjoying playing. Like, again, not caught up in, are we 24-0? Can we make it 25-0? Is it just more about having fun and enjoying the moment?
I mean, honestly, these practices are perfect because in the beginning, like, we start off laughing, cheering, super energetic, and then coach can focus us into a specific skill set that we need. And then we'll have 3 nets up working on specific things. Like, as a middle, we work on our range of hitting and hitting deep corners one day and another shot another day. And then we get rewarded with 6-on-6 where all this kind of comes together. And it's really just a special moment where you get to celebrate with your team. And, we're our best competition we face. So it's really awesun.
So it sounds like practice really is the breeding ground where you guys get better, right?
Oh, yeah. Try reading Sydney Cry with her unpredictable sets. It's crazy. Like, the amount of focus I need in practice is unreal because we just have such an amazing team.
Let me bring Sydney in here. Is that an art form, trying to deceive the opponent on the other side of the net, trying to where you're going to set that ball?
I mean, as a setter, obviously that is the goal. That would be amazing. My top priority, though, is making sure that my hitters get the best possible set that they can get and doing what they can with it. But being able to trick these guys makes my job even better and way more fun. So thanks, Yoda.
Make them work for it in practice, right? Better in the long run, right?
Exactly.
So you guys are 28-0, number 1 in the country. Let me go back to Coach Higa over here. So on Thursday, you guys are beginning the NCAA Division II West Regional, hosting it inside Van Dyne. You're going to open with Sonoma State coming up on Thursday. Coach, do you take a look at film or kind of look at all the teams that you might possibly see in that whole bracket?
Yes, we spend a lot of time watching film, and an inordinate, nerdy amount of time watching film and collecting film and scrapping for film. So, yes, we watch everyone, and we've watched everyone that we could face. So we know, and our job is just to make sure that we can prepare the team as best we feel possible. And sometimes it's giving them a lot of information. Sometimes it's knowing what to hold back with. But always with the mind, I think, right now, in how do we tailor our training towards what we might face. The cool thing is, with a team like this, if we do things well, we're pretty tough to stop. So it makes my job and Blair's job pretty easy of, like, hey, let's just have a good day of practice and work on some things that we need to work on, and go out there and play.
We're going inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Did you watch film on Thanksgiving? Did you break bread with the family and they say, okay, I'll be in the other room. I'm looking at some film? Because you said you were nerding out pretty hard on the video.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Yeah, that's good, right? Yeah. It's family time. Family time.
Yeah, I sat down Wednesday night and I said, okay, tomorrow I will not think about
But
volley.
You wanted to.
Yes, I wanted to.
I was expecting a yes. Yeah, you were expecting a yes.
But Friday.
Probably a long Wednesday night, right?
Yeah.
You were probably making up for Thursday.
Yeah. Friday morning was when I started dipping back into that pool, and yeah, from here on out, it's going to be nonstop. We'll watch a ton and just do whatever we can to be prepared.
Well, I know you guys don't want to talk about the undefeated streak or being number 1, but we like to talk about it here.
We'll talk about it.
And also the awards, too.
We'll talk about those, too. Bring it.
Because you guys made a haul in the postseason awards for Pac West Conference play. Coach Higa, the Coach of the Year. Lauren Hackett, the Player of the Year. Sydney over here, Sydney Cry, the 2-time Setter of the Year in the Pac West Conference. You also had Madison Witt, Newcomer of the Year. Sydney Marks, Freshman of the Year. So, Coach, before I ask the players this, I mean, something to be proud of, right? I mean, that must mean the team is doing well if you're getting these awards here from the conference.
Yeah, and you're forgetting McKenna Witt was 2nd team all-conference. Yagoda was 3rd team all-conference and is 3rd in the nation in blocks per set. So the crazy thing is, like, you see Player of the Year, Set of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, Freshman of the Year, and it's like, wait a second. We've got the 3rd best blocker in the nation statistically.
In the country, yes.
Statistically. And we've got McKenna Witt, who is unbelievably well-rounded and kind of underappreciated by people because of her defense and her passing and her IQ. And it's like, we've got these people that it's like, oh, yeah, they ran out of awards. Well put.
Yeah.
Well put. But yeah, it's just, man, a blessing, and man, just it's mind blowing to be able to work and go through a season with women like this, you know. And people ask me all the time about what it's like, and it's, to me, the best part is, like, yeah, we have some talent, but from, you know, the oldest player to the youngest player, like, we have some really phenomenal women on our team. And Blair Penner, our assistant coach, is phenomenal. We have an incredible trainer. The student managers and the workers that surround us are all awesome. And it's, you know, we see stuff like Player of the Year, and especially an award like Coach of the Year, is like, oh, I get a lot of texts and everyone's happy for me. And, you know, all my coaching friends know that Coach of the Year really just means Team of the Year.
Yeah.
And I'm just this stiff that happens to be involved with a bunch of really great women. And that's the bottom line. Yeah, it is, guys. It is, guys. You know, so I'm inordinately blessed, and yeah, so that's my take on that. But yeah, these women have worked really hard, and you know, it doesn't happen alone.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the other players on the team and the people that you don't hear their names very much that are just pouring in and giving unselfishly. And you know, the awards that we want are the team ones, really, because the team, you know, deserves what they get.
Well, Coach Higa might not say it, but we know he's a great coach.
Yes.
Sydney, as one of the leaders here, what does he do to bring out the best in you guys on the court?
Honestly, I think one of the best things about Coach Higa is he's very real with us and he respects us. And I think because of that, it's not so much of like, sometimes you get coaches that kind of like get angry at you and want to like fire you up that way. With him, it's like he expects something from us. He expects the best out of us each day in the training room, in the weight room, in film, and in the classroom. And because of that, we want to meet those expectations. We want to exceed those expectations. We want to excel in every portion of our life to show not only Coach Higa, but each other that we are great people on and off the court.
We got the West Regional coming up, Sonoma State on Thursday. That would be the opening round game. If you guys advance to the championship, that would be on Saturday inside Van Dyne. And then after that, the national championships, of course, what I believe is Florida. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Florida. Yeah. Okay. So, Lauren, let me go over here to you, the Pac West Player of the Year, right? And to kind of piggyback off what Coach was saying, it speaks volumes about the entire team, right? I mean, someone's got to give you the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it speaks volumes of your teammates as well. So when you get these postseason awards, you know, does it feel good that it's representing CBU? It's representing the whole program.
I mean, I don't think it's just a coincidence that we all ended up on those awards. Like, it's a lot easier to win these things when you have the setter of the year setting to you, and, you know. So I think it really does speak to the team as a whole. And I think, too, like, getting those awards is cool, but I think it's bigger motivation to go and win the whole thing, because awards are fun and like they get attention from, you know, the public and people think it's awesome. But I think for us, it's just a stepping stone and it's not the end all be all, and our season's not over yet. So it just makes me more excited for what we're going to do next.
We got the Cal Baptist volleyball team here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. We're going inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. I'll go back to Lauren for this one because being a senior, the team came in the studio last year, and you guys had a really good team last year.
Mm-hmm.
No slight on them, obviously, but you know what was maybe different this year? I don't know if there's something maybe off the court or something you're doing on the court, because you had a lot of talent last year as well. I mean, that was a good team as well, but 28-0, #1 in the country. That's like ridiculous off the charts.
I mean, I think each year we've had like crazy athletes. We've been really athletic and had that potential. But I think this year is where the emotional like maturity really showed up. And we've stayed level-headed during, you know, if people get up on us, we're always level-headed. And it's kind of just this point where we know if we do our jobs, we're going to win. And that's it. You know, and
trust the person next to you.
And there's no roller coaster up and down emotions. It's all very, very steady, very mature. And I think it comes from just having a lot of experienced players. I mean, we have our younger players too, but they've done a great job at catching up and being mature and level-headed. And I think that's really shown. I think that's where our wins come from.
You go to, how about some of those early season tournament matches? You played some of the top teams in the country to open the season. Did you guys figure out pretty early on that, you know what, this is a pretty special team? You're playing some really good teams early on. You were beating them. I mean, did that kind of click pretty fast? Like, you know what, we've got a good team here. Let's see how far we can take this.
Oh, yeah. Just every single game, like, you would go to the bench and just, like, watch, and you're like, damn. Like, this is going to be a season to remember.
Uh-huh.
And just, I remember, like, watching everyone make spectacular plays, you know, plays that we needed to get momentum. And I don't think teams ever expected for us to come out like that, which obviously causes more fire. And just everything was always there. The defense was there. The offense was there. Not to mention that our emotions was there, as Lauren was talking about. And I feel like Spencer Wood had a lot to do with that. We met with Spencer Wood at the beginning of season, and I think it was like a 2-hour lecture or something, and that just matured all of us. And all of us are just natural-born leaders in our own way, shapes, and forms. And I love this team for that. It's incredible. And my favorite story to tell is at the very beginning of season, we had a dinner at Coach's house. And Lauren,
did you cook? I'm just curious.
Yeah, we all cooked. It was a senior cooking for
like a potluck
us.
kind of a thing, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And the seniors were serving the newcomers, and that was something that I've never seen before. And Lauren was like, "We just want to serve you guys as Christ teaches us to serve." And I got the chills, and I just think back to that story of, you know, there's no such thing as seniority on this team. We're all equal. We're all playing for a championship, and I think that's what really gave us those early
wins. That really
wins.
hit home for you, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let me ask Sydney, because last year when you guys went to the postseason, you went to Anchorage, Alaska. That's quite a trip.
It was.
Now you get to be home in Van Dyne. How huge is that to be able to be on your home floor as opposed to making that long trek up to Alaska? And was it 1 and out, right? It was the first round game. I mean, that's a long ways to go. Yeah, that's a long trip for one match. But how cool is it to be home in Riverside at CBU at Van Dyne?
Honestly, it's surreal. Kind of like you were saying in the beginning, I don't think any of us really expected to have such a perfect season. We knew we were going to be good. We knew we were going to get after it, just like we always have. And I think being able to host has showed us, like, all right, like, we're there. We're at this level. Like, let's show them what we can give them and be the amazing team that we are, and not have to miss school to go travel is kind of amazing.
Right? Yeah.
And, man, I think I'm just so excited to have all our friends and have all our family be able to come out and support us and support our road to a championship.
Finally, Coach, calling all crazies, right? You want to get that place loud. You want to get it rocking and get a lot of support, right?
Oh, yeah. No, the fans will be there, and I just really want to encourage anyone in the community to come out. It's not very often you get to see the #1 team in anything play, and to do it here in Riverside, in the IE, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's something that, again, you only dream of as a coach. You never really think that's going to be reality. But people need to come out and see us. This is a special group of people. Athletically, they're amazing to watch. The way they play together, and just who they are is just, it's mind-blowing. So Thursday night, 7:30, come on out. And I know Van Dyne's going to be packed. The student support will definitely be there. But we need people from the community too.
Yeah.
And if you've never been in that gym when there's 1,000 people in it, it's amazing. It's an amazing deal. And we'll put on a show for you.
That's what you guys play for, right? To be able to be home in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's home court advantage, right? So CBU opening the Division II West Regional at home again Thursday night, 7:30 against Sonoma State. And hopefully that's just the first of several more wins en route to a national championship.
Yes, sir.
So they are the #1 team in the country, a perfect 28-0. We just went inside the Lancers. Brought to you by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, Coach Higa. We appreciate it. You guys always have an open door.
Yes.
You still interning, Sydney?
I most definitely hope so.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
We will hook that up. So we'll see you ladies on Thursday night against Sonoma State. When we come back, more high school football chatter. We also have our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week, and we'll break down the Austin Gorell Classic, which we broadcasted live from Cal Baptist University just the other night on the baseball diamond. We'll talk about that as well as we had Austin Barnes, Dodgers catcher, out there catching the ceremonial first pitch. We'll be right back here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Below MSRP and cash allowance. Not available with special finance, lease, or other offers. Take delivery by 11/30/17. See participating dealer for details.
Next, come on. What do you want?
Santa?
Yeah, I'm Santa. Come on, what do you want?
Barbie? Say cheese.
Okay, fine, Barbie. Oh, thank you. Ow, what's the toenails, kid?
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Geoff Gorham is riding deep with the UC Riverside men's basketball team. They're playing the University of Michigan tomorrow. You can check Geoff out on the call at GoHighlanders.com. I think he said it was 1 o'clock local time.
Did he say what? He said 1 o'clock p.m. and I was about to write him on Twitter. Okay, you have a Pacific Coast time
or
audience.
Central time.
Yeah. I mean, and now he's just messing things up.
We'll find out. We'll get a hold of Geoff and find out exactly what that starts. But they're not 3 hours ahead. It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours for Central.
Geoff.
But I mean, he just has to clarify that.
Listen,
okay, we need to know.
Just go to GoHighlanders.com and check out Geoff. He'll have the call as the Highlanders will take on the Wolverines. That's tomorrow. But today, he and the Highlanders are at the Big House, Michigan taking on the Ohio State. Pretty cool. Geoff was there live as Marcus Ball from 3rd and Chicago, JW North, caught a touchdown pass for the Buckeyes. Although between us and our friends, I want Michigan to win that game.
Well,
That's just me.
I did say that, but I want to see USC beat Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, so that would be kind of sweet to see that
happen. Could happen. That could happen, a Rose Bowl game between the Buckeyes and the Trojans.
Hopefully that happens.
It could.
Got to be Washington State first.
These guys are going all over the place. Jeff at the Big House. Gazal was in the Bahamas or something.
He was like in Mexico, wasn't it? Like, I don't know, it was some wacky college basketball tournament with Cal State
College basketball
Northridge.
teams are traveling all over the place. Play-by-play guys get free vacation, I tell you what.
and a passport, right?
Yeah,
I guess if he's wherever Gazal's going down there. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, Kin Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona. Time to announce our Marines recruiting station, Riverside Athlete of the Week. I know we passed this out to a lot of quarterbacks and running backs, a couple of receivers along the way. Once in a while, we go to the defensive side of the football, and that's where we're going exactly this week because this guy had a monster game for the Aquinas Falcons. We're talking about the great Gary Ganson, 2 interceptions, and he forced a fumble as Aquinas beat Cypress 47-12. Coach K hit me up last night, texted me and said, man, yes, our offense is good, and yes, it deserves a lot of attention, of course, with Brandon Rankins and company. But the defense has really been telling for Aquinas during this postseason run, and Gary Ganson with 2 huge interceptions, and that forced fumble was early in the game that set up a touchdown for the Falcons that really set the tone the rest of the way. They beat Cypress 47-12, and again, Aquinas going deep on the road to Ridgecrest as they will take on the Burros for the CIF Southern Section Division 9 championship, and that will be next Friday night. So
you're going up there to cover that one, right, Pep? Traveling way up there to Bishop area.
I've been up there. Ironically, it's in the Bakersfield TV market, so we used to cover the Burros when Jeff Steinberg was the head coach up there.
It all comes full circle.
It really does. But I don't know if they get a lot of run on Bakersfield TV right now, the Burros.
Do they got a live mascot?
I think they do have a burro. Yeah, I think they do. So
what a name, huh?
The Burros.
The Burros.
I used to love it. I used to love it. So best of luck to Aquinas playing for that CIF Southern Section Division 9 title. Going for their first CIF title since 2005 when their head coach Jordan Brusig was a player on that team. So let's talk a little more high school football before we get to the Austin Gorell Memorial Classic. And, of course, if you want to see all the semifinal scores or the championship schedule, you can go right now to the Inland Sports website and check that out. We got that all posted up, so you can get out there. But, Bradford, last night you did the Murrieta Mesa Cajon game, which was the only all-local semifinal game that
it was a pleasure. And, of course, we don't have any more local games. No CIF championships in the Inland Empire. Closest game would be Downey Cajon. But Cajon really looking like they don't belong in Division 4. Murrieta Mesa, a very good team. But they scored 3 touchdowns, I think, in the first 4 drives. And really were in the driver's seat the entire game, controlled the tempo. They kind of slipped up a little bit in the third quarter, but they got their momentum back. And they're, look at the players they have. You have Jeremiah Martin. Yeah, you have Jonathan Perkins. You have Darren Jones, who probably could have gotten 5 touchdowns. I think he only got 3. 2 were called back. So talent all throughout the roster. Just an amazing job by Nick Rogers and company to get the talent to come and join as one.
Yeah, it's easy to have talent. It's
hard
bring
to coach
together,
it.
and get them to a championship level. Jaden Daniels, I want to say, so last week he was our Marines recruiting station Riverside Athlete of the Week. He had 50 touchdowns. I think he had 4 last night. Does that sound right? 4 passing touchdowns?
I think he had 4 because Yarber had 1 on the ground, and then he did throw the other one because he threw 2 to Omar Perkins. No, he might have had 5. He might have had 5.
So he's got like 54, 55 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, we got to check the stats here again, but he had himself a game. But that's what you expect from him, right? You expect him to have a good game all the time.
3-year starter as a junior.
I know, and they have a bunch of juniors still. They don't even have a lot of seniors on this team. So it's just going to be lock and load because they're going to be up to D3 too, and they might be able to run the table in that one.
They will be bumped up.
Yeah,
there's no doubt they'll be in Division 3 next year.
They're too good.
So Cajon moving on against Murrieta Mesa. Congratulations to the Rams making it to the semifinals for the first time in school history. It's really not an old school. They play in that tough Southwestern League. Just ran into a really good Cajon football team. And we talked about it last night on Sports Weekly Live that Cajon's only loss was against Murrieta Valley, who made it to the quarters in Division 1.
By just an inkling of an amount.
3 points.
So just talent. And I guess one thing you can brag about if you're Murrieta Mesa is you were the last Murrieta team to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big accomplishment with Vista and Murrieta Valley.
When we looked at the brackets when it first came out in Division 4, we had Santiago, right, and Roosevelt, and we thought one of those schools might be in the semifinals with Cajon, and just didn't pan out that way. So congratulations to the Rams. It was a fantastic season there, as they have made it to the semifinals for the first time, and now Cajon playing for that championship. The last time Cajon won a CIF title was 1987, so 30 years to the year they could have another championship season. So that's pretty cool there for the Cajon Cowboys. We quickly touched on it off the top of the show. Again, the teams, excuse me, that are playing for CIF titles next week. The Rancho Verde taking on St. Francis in Division 3. That's a Friday night game. Cajon at Downey in Division 4. That's a Saturday night game. Aquinas at the Burros in Division 9. That's a Friday night game. And the Big Bear Bears, moving on in Division 12. They will take on Santa Maria. That's another long road trip in Division 12. So those are
Where is Santa Maria? Where is that?
Go to Santa Barbara and keep going.
Okay.
North.
Wow. Okay.
Like San Luis
Good luck,
Obispo.
Big Bear, on that trip.
Man, can you imagine that? I mean, I thought Aquinas to Burros is a long drive, and I think I looked it up, 124 miles.
You're hitting almost the Central Coast in that area. You're like up and slow, kind of past that area.
Those schools, from what I heard, are moving to the Central Section next year. They're going to be out.
Rightly so,
yeah.
right?
So it's between Santa Maria's, like between Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo. Yeah, so it's like Central Coast.
How much is gas? $3?
Yeah, how much is gas?
Man, wow.
So we got some long road trips, and as Bradford pointed out, not a single championship game in the Inland Empire. Everyone's hitting on the road, but that's okay. We got some road warriors.
Anybody going to be peeping into that Downey game? Are we going to have coverage for that? The Downey-Cajon game?
We're going to have to figure that out because we got UC Riverside basketball and all kinds of good stuff. So I know we'll get video from Big Bear Santa Maria. I know we'll get video from Rancho Verde. We're going to do something with Cajon. Aquinas is the wild card. It's just that's a long
coin flip a coin, see if Colin or I have to go up there, or Mason. We'll just send Mason because he's not here today.
Yeah,
send him.
Just hop on the Inland Sports jet. Hey, real quick, did Branden Rankins? I saw on IEMG Sports Weekly Live last night.
He did. He blew past Ken Barner. So he's I think it was 1,400 yards that actually chased down Toby Gerhardt, which probably not gonna happen unless he has some incredible.
If he's playing on rookie mode in Madden, then he could do it, but. Might be a little bit out of his reach.
To be number 2 all-time to a guy who had a pretty good NFL career, that's not too shabby.
And you and I were talking about it. Only one division one offer, you said, I believe? That's just kind of shocking.
Like Montana State or something like that.
Inland Empire, so many great players. Hook Branden Rankins up with a Division I scholarship, people.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Any way you slice, I don't care what division he plays in. Real quick, we'll run out of time. Big thanks to Bradford and Mason who called the Austin Gorell Classic. What a special game that was.
Yeah, it really was, and it just is remarkable to see how it went up to $25,000 in scholarship money. It's doubled each year. Actually exceeded doubling. So it's a good thing to be a part of. Whole community coming together. Lots of views of the game on the channel, so I hope you guys like my terrible call where me and Mason were just arguing the whole time. But that's typical. Really nice to be a part of. Just thankful that the whole community can come together for such a good cause and preserve Austin Gorell's memory. And we got the shirt.
Yeah. Here, I'll punch it up real quick so people, if you're watching us live and amplified, can see it right there. Cool shirts, cool gear, hats, jackets, shirts. Mason and Bradford did an excellent job. Cullen was helping me behind the scenes, so thank you for that, Cullen. I appreciate that. Right now, if you're watching us live, that was Austin Barnes catching the ceremonial first pitch, Dodgers catcher. So it was a fantastic evening. Good broadcast. Great job, guys. Ayala beat Santiago 7-3. It was a good game as Ayala came back in the 6th inning, so it was a fun game as well. So a big thanks to the Austin Gorell family and Billy Trudell for letting Inland Sports play a small part in that. We really appreciate it and keep Austin's legacy alive here in the Inland Empire. Former JW North baseball star. All right, it's all brought to you by Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You'll be spoiled by their excellent customer service. Great prices. You'll get the mint. Bill Navigado, I will see you soon with my wife's car. I'm coming for you. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire. They got all your sporting gear, and they've got Letterman's jackets. They even do embroidery right there in that shop, so go check them out at Ken Sporting Goods. Boost Performance Training. They will train you up at any level, youth, high school, college, trying to make it to the pros, trying to get a scholarship. They will train you up in lacrosse, football, baseball, whatever discipline sport you're in, they can get you better with Coach Ray Bass and Catalano Motors in Corona off Temescal Canyon Road. Derek Catalano will make it easy buying a car because sometimes it's not fun going on that car lot. It can be stressful, but not with Derek Catalano and his team. Check them out off Temescal Canyon Road. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Very thankful for our viewers and our listeners. We appreciate it very much. Things will be changing here on the Inland Sports Show in a good way.
Yeah, in a positive way.
We'll keep you posted on social media, but we're very thankful and appreciative of all of you who have stuck with us as we're going on 4 years of the Inland Sports Show and on our fine partners at IMG and Riverside TV. We thank them as well. So good things are on the horizon for the Inland Sports Show, so keep it tuned to our social media platforms, and we'll keep you up to date. But we'll see you next time on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
You're a big boy. What's your name?
Paul.
And what can I get you for Christmas?
Don't tell him what you want. He's a liar.
Let the kid talk.
Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
This is Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports is the undisputed sports leader in the IE and two-time finalist for the top TV radio show in the Inland Empire, thanks to our big-name guests, exclusive interviews, video highlights, and, of course, nobody breaks more news than Inland Sports. Hosted by Big Salty Geoff Gorham and the IE Media Personality of the Year, Pep Fernandez, honored by the CIF Southern Section with its Champion for Character Award, the National Football Foundation, the Southern California Football Coaches Association, the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association, and the San Bernardino City Unified School District. We've teamed up with some outstanding companies in our community that are proud to call the IE home, and they care about local sports.
Hey, what's up, Pep? You too cool to come down here, man? Too big time now?
You can join our team too. If you're a local business or owner, shoot us an email at inlandsportshow@gmail.com. Nobody covers local sports like Inland Sports. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Always want to play the best teams, even in the playoffs. If we win the playoffs, I want it to be like we earned it.
Help us spread the word, and thanks for making Inland Sports the local sports leader in the Inland Empire.